Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's another episode of Fighting the Fray. Welcome. Thank you guys for submitting all your questions to hello@fightingthefray.com. Remember, you can, at any point in time throughout the series, submit questions and we will do our best to answer them. We're still in the series of things I wish I knew before I said I do. And today we're talking about something that's pretty essential to getting over the bumps in marriage. And that is the art of apologies. The art of apologizing. The art of apology.
It's okay. It's okay.
the
art of apology,
okay,
and the need to forgive.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, whenever, it's funny, but like I think about whenever I grew up with 3 boys, or I grew up with 2 brothers.
Yeah.
So growing up in a house full of boys, you know, I was very keen to getting in a fight one day with my brothers, then the next day walking up to him and being like, hey, George, Jade, can I borrow your shoes? Can I borrow your clothes?
Yeah.
And that would just let me know that we're good, whether they said yes or whether they said no. There was no need for an apology. There was no need for me to say, hey man, I forgive you. Like, we just knew we were good. If we could still share clothes, we were good. And so, like, growing up in that type of environment, it really influenced the way that I treated apologies. You know, dating with Paige, I never really thought that I would get to a point once we finally got married where I would find myself on opposite sides of the couch or opposite sides of the bed, not really knowing what's going on. Like, okay, doesn't she know that, I mean, we're cool? Like, she knows me, surely she knows me. Right. So doesn't she know we're cool? But like, no, she was expecting an apology. She was expecting, if I had done something to offend her, she was expecting me to do something to allow her to know that we were trying to come back together as one and be able to get over that hump. And I think a lot of the reason of why that happened in our marriage versus us just being in a relationship was the fact that I really never thought that I could hurt her like that to a point of where I would need to apologize. I just thought that things would be good and she would know that things were good by me just moving on with life.
Right. But I think when it comes to apologizing, it's definitely very essential to apologize because we're one. And because if one person is still feeling like they deserve an apology or they still feel wronged, it affects both of us because we are one.
Right.
So when we talk about apologizing, there are really 2 components for us that we found were quite essential to successfully communicating an apology. And that would be the confession and the repentance or the change. In regards to confession, that's essentially saying, hey, look, I messed up. I was late. I'm sorry. You know, that kind of thing. I messed up. Recognizing what happened and the fact that you're at fault. In regards to the change is like, okay, I was late. I'm sorry. In the future, I know it's very important to you that I'm timely. I will try to be timely in the future.
Yeah. So it's almost like the confession really kind of addresses the past, whereas the change, it addresses how things are going to be moving forward differently in the future. And I think that it's important in addressing the confession or the change to understand that as much as we knew one another, we're married and everything like that, like, I'm not a mind reader. I mean, we need to communicate to be able to understand that, hey, I've been offended, or hey, I'm expecting an apology, or hey, I'm expecting X, Y, Z. Right. And I really couldn't put my thumb on the reason why that changes so much differently in marriage versus a relationship, but I can really just, I guess, label it as to the fact of what you said before about us being one now. So like, we, no matter what, we want to come back together as that one. And in coming together as that one, what we're going to try to communicate throughout this this conversation is really how much of a need it is for us to have a healthy dose of apologizing and forgiving. That's the art of apology and the need to forgive.
Right. And when we discuss the art of apology, depending on what has happened, the reason I keep saying that is because, like, there are levels. If John left the toilet seat up, like, I'm not gonna get some long drawn out, nor should I expect some long drawn out apology. I might get a my bad. Yeah. I might get a side eye. It just really depends. Like, it may not be, it really isn't a big deal.
I might leave the toilet seat up again.
Might. But in regards to, like, let's use an example of like missing an anniversary. For that, there are levels, and there are, you know, certain things you need to do to try and make that right, and certain things that you should be very humble in and sincere in doing. The first thing would be expressing regret. Like, babe, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. You know, I missed our anniversary, and then that, and expressing regret is also accepting a responsibility.
Yeah.
If you know that, like, instead of saying, oh, you know, it's on my calendar.
Yeah.
How could, I mean, you know, we operate by calendars, so that's why I missed it. No, if you are to blame, accept that responsibility. If you are to blame, say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that I'm sorry is such a powerful word, especially in marriage and in any relationship. I mean, it does both of those things so perfectly. It expresses the fact that you're regretful for whatever action that has taken place, but then even more importantly, I think it admits, it's no, hey, you're sorry, it's your fault. No, it's, I'm sorry, I'm accepting the full blame for that.
Right. And also what we have to remember is, or what we had to remember is, it also de-escalates conflict, which we talked about in a prior segment. If it's a big situation, the conflict might be a bit high, so it's good to use choice words like I am sorry. I am sorry will de-escalate a situation. And so in the scenario of missing an anniversary, there also might be some restitution that might need to take place in the form of, like, maybe flowers need to be sent. If it's a big anniversary, you might need to plan a surprise getaway trip. I mean, but once again, this has to do with knowing your spouse. Your spouse just might need a good meal and some good dessert, and she might be good to go, or he might be good to go. It's very important to know your spouse's love language, because you will need to reach back into that to try and make some form of restitution and make things whole. And then the last thing, and this is a very good step because it brings closure, is to say, look, I know I messed up, once again, if you choose to say that, but will you please forgive me? Can we move forward? And I think it's very important to say those words, because it removes any sense of ambiguity as to where exactly are we? Am I still mad? Because, you know, sometimes, even if they're men, well, I won't say, like, for us, even if John's pleading his case and he's kind of done, we're moving forward, I kind of sometimes need to hear, for closure purposes, can we move forward? Are we done here? So it's like, okay, yes, I release that, let's move forward.
and with forgiveness, which was the third phase, should I say, forgiveness is something where we have to realize that now puts the power back in the person that was offended, and it's in their court. And so that's not the time to be, you know, easily discouraged if they say no. I won't forgive you. That's the time to, you know, because you are really regretful for what you've done, and because you recognize that you want to be able to draw back closer together in humility, that's the time to be persistent, to be patient. If this way doesn't work, hey, maybe I need to try another way to be able to get them to agree to forgiving you.
Right, but at the same time, it's really important that, like, we don't, like, we're not slow to forgive. Like, we should be almost like we should be ready to forgive even before an apology is given, when we're like, if there's a situation. Because at the end of the day, we're married for life. We know our spouse's heart. They are, like, even if they are wrong, they are coming to apologize. But it's really depending, once again, depending on what it is, we shouldn't be super hard-headed, like, oh no, he better come correct if I'm about to forgive him. Like, no, let's also have that heart of humility as well. Like, oh, I can't believe he wronged me. Like, no, there should be no pride in this. We're on the same team. So as quickly as I may offend you tomorrow, let me forgive you today.
And that brings up sort of the relationship that we have, you know, with Jesus Christ. You know, we think about how he forgave us. I mean, we think about the fact that as far as he's concerned, from the east, from the west, that's as far as our sins are. you know, for him as far as how he looks at us. So like that's a perfect example of what the oneness that we're striving to. The Bible is very clear in talking about how the marriage relationship exemplifies the relationship that Jesus Christ has with the church. And man, there is no way, shape, or form that we may deserve the type of love that we receive for him, but it's the same thing that we think about in our relationship. There may be no way, shape, or form that they deserve the forgiveness, but we gotta give, we gotta give, we gotta give. And as we do give that, we're clear in understanding that just because we've forgiven, it does not for any reason mean that things are forgotten.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean that things are all the way back at square one. You know, in our relationship, in our marriages, I think that it begins the process of being able to reconcile. Yeah. I mean, without forgiveness, it's just an apology that's staying out there in the clouds, and it's never actually been received and moved towards being able to progress. And so the thing that we gain from forgiving is that we gain this sense of teamwork, just this commitment of, okay, yeah, the shoe could easily be on the other foot next time. So as a team, I'm gonna take one so that we can be able to be reconciled as one. And that commitment towards forgiveness is important in being able to express that. And then I think, the last thing that we really wanted to share in regards to that is, and Paige alluded to it earlier, and when she said that we should almost forgive before we knew that they were gonna ask for an apology, or that they were gonna give an apology. And that's just us creating room. So imagine a rope. Whenever you have a rope, you give a rope a little bit of slack so that whenever you put it on a pulley and you're actually gonna pull something, when it pulls together, it doesn't automatically snap the rope.
Oh, I won't be super technical. Carry on.
I mean, in our marriage though, think about that. Like if we gave ourselves a little bit of allowance in regards to our expectations for one another, then what that would do is we wouldn't be so quick to go from 0 to 100 the moment that something hit the fan. And what that does for us is that allows us to quickly be able to apologize, forgive, and be able to reconcile and come back together as one. And really, for us, that's what we wanted to share today. And we really appreciate you for checking this out with us. And if you know of anyone that you think would benefit from this episode, please, please, please share it with them. And until we see again, let's keep fighting the fray.